SEV. Our buddy Michael is calling in, perpetual Trump detractor and Trump hater. And Michael, I wanted you to know, I did get one of your emails, and you had asked me a pointed question about why I wasn't responding to your emails or debating you through emails. And I thought I owed you an answer. And the answer is I don't debate anybody via email. I mean, you're welcome to call up here and we can debate whatever it is you want. I mean, you can tell me how bad you think badly Trump is doing. But the simple answer to your question is there's no value in it for my audience, so it's not worth my time. So if you want, now there's value in the audience just having open discussions with you here. So, but doing it in an email just does the audience nor me or anybody else any good. So there you go. That's the answer to your question.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the explanation. Yeah. Why have a discussion when you can do it on air where you have all the dials of control and there's really no time? But that's okay.
You know what? Well, hold on, Michael. Wait a minute. Hold on. Just in my own defense, Michael, just to be fair, I don't have to take your call, right? Can you admit that? I don't have to bring you on to allow you. And let's be honest, you can't even be honest with me about your own name. So look, when I'm going to have a debate or a discussion with somebody, I'm going to do it with somebody in good faith. But you, every single time you come in this program, you lie about who and what you are. So there's no good faith there. You've done nothing to inspire any trust in me, right? And you don't think very highly of me. I don't understand. And you don't think very highly of me. Yeah, so that's the reason why when you're sitting there and you're having a discussion or a debate with somebody, and I bring on people that I have legitimate disagreements with, and I talk to people I have legitimate disagreements with, but there's a mutual respect there. But you and I don't have that because you're not very honest about who and what you are. So there's really no reason for me to trust you at all.
Really not sure why lying bothers you so much, because you support a guy that lies like he breathes air. But can we get to the DOJ?
You want to talk about the Department of Justice today. Okay. And now does this somehow this is going to circle back to Trump? I've got a sneaking suspicion, but go ahead. Let's talk about the DOJ. What do you have?
You're good at shining turds. So I want to drop a turd in your lap and see how well you can shine it. Can you explain to me the whole situation with the termination of Michael Ben-Ari?
I'm not familiar with it. And by the way, speaking of shining turds, yes, I bring you on the air quite frequently. I am quite adept at shining turds, Michael. But anyway, I have no idea about the case you're talking about. I don't know who Michael Ben-Ari is.
I would have bet my house that that's what you were going to say.
So I'll fill you in. Look, Michael, hold on, Michael, before you go on, look, you concentrate on anything you can do to undermine the Trump administration. That's your main focus, right? What is President Trump's approval rating in Rasmussen? Do you know that? No, you don't. Of course you don't.
No, I don't.
No, because you don't.
Sure
Wait a minute.
98%. That's right.
No, Michael.
Trump said it's 98%.
No, it's not 98%. But the whole point is, look, you and I have different emphasis. Okay, you're out there trying to undermine the Trump administration continually, to undermine his government, to destroy whatever momentum that he wants to try to build up for his agenda. You're solidly against that. So you're going to be digging into things that try to undermine the America First coalition. I get it. I understand it, but that's not me. I'm going to be out there looking for just the opposite, how the America First agenda is actually benefiting our country. So you and I are in different universes in that. So why don't we skip the preambles in the future and just tell me what your beef is with Ben-Ari? And I guess you're telling me he was fired?
Yes, he was fired. He's the lead prosecutor on the case against, I forget the guy's name, but the mastermind of the Abbey Gate bombing.
Okay.
I'm sure you're very much for, as we all should be as Americans, for seeing that guy, get behind bars.
Yes.
He was terminated a few weeks ago
Why?
He's been working on this case for over a year.
Okay.
Huh?
So why was he terminated?
Oh, yeah, he was terminated because MAGA superstar influencer Julie Kelly.
Yes.
Julie Kelly put out a tweet
Yes.
saying she thinks, she has no evidence, but she thinks that Ben Ari is an anti-Trump, a never-Trumper, a deep state member. So they fired him. I feel so much safer now knowing that we are terminating prosecutors that are prosecuting our most important national defense cases because Julie Kelly suspects somebody might be a member of the deep state.
When did the
Can you please explain that to me?
Well, when did the Abbey-gate incident occur, Michael?
I don't know, roughly 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, it'd be a little over 3 years ago.
5.
Yeah, this is this is Joe Biden's massive calamity, the worst foreign policy defeat.
Yes, we know.
This would
What's
be
your point?
This would be the worst. By the way, the worst foreign policy disaster and defeat for the United States that you never called in about and never decried against Joe Biden because you supported Joe Biden's massive catastrophe. You supported it.
Yep, you're
yes.
correct.
Yes.
Why don't you?
You supported. Yes, I know. Yes, I am correct. You supported Joe Biden's catastrophe and the killing of 13 unnecessarily killing of 13 Americans. So the Abbey-gate process happened let's call it approximately 4 years ago. And so here you have a guy that's working on a case which should be rather open and shut, and he's not getting any results. And we're not getting any.
They had to capture the guy.
We have not gotten
capture the guy first.
We've not gotten any results, and in the prosecution, by your own admission, in a year's time. So, is it possible he could have been?
This is the worst explanation ever.
Well, I mean, look.
This explanation.
I'm not explaining it. I'm not. Look, as I already told you, I'm not familiar with Mr. Benari or his case. What I can tell you as a plausible explanation is he's not getting the job done. Now, I know that you left-wingers believe that people are owed their job, whether they produce or not. Like you, Michael, for example, whether they produce or not. But again, Michael, I'm sorry. People are not owed government jobs, especially when they don't perform. When you're working for a guy like President Trump, you had better perform and get the job done before you expect to be rewarded and keep your job. If you're not getting the job done, you can be expected to be shown the door. I'm not saying that's the case here because, again, I'm not familiar with it, but you might want to leave the door open to the possibility.
I just found out 80% of our car insurance bill goes to agent.
Wasn't getting the job done, especially if he's one of these career guys hired by a left-winger. By the way, you don't ever criticize. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate the call. Telephone numbers 281-558-5738, 281-558-KSCV. Yeah, I'm the joke. If you don't like the answer,
pretty much.
Don't call then if you don't like the answer. Telephone numbers 281-558-5738, 281-558-KSCV. Get right back to it, folks. Get your calls in if you want to comment on what Michael is all up in arms about today. You know, the headline news, Benari fired. Entitled government employee fired. Dun, dun, dun. Michael, come on, man. Get a hobby. I'll be right back. Taking a hard pass on getting health insurance because it's way too expensive. Yeah, you can thank the Democrats for that. You know, Michael's buddies, the Democrats. Are you limited to what doctors and hospitals you can go to? Yeah, you can thank Obamacare and Michael's buddies for that. Are you paying for a bunch of services you don't need or want so somebody else can get those services at a reduced cost or maybe even for free? Yeah, that's socialism, folks, and you can thank Michael's buddies for that, the Democrat Socialist Party. These are real and impactful questions, folks, but there's only one good answer. American medical plans. If you're in reasonably good health, Scott Ferguson and American medical plans can save you 30 to 60%. And then you get better coverage to boot, and you can choose the doctor you want to go to. I know, crazy, right? My buddy Scott Ferguson at American Medical Plans kind of.
400 artisans and craftspeople await you in our beautifully
Russell, had you ever heard of an attorney by the name of Benari? Yeah, news to me too.
Revel in the finest musicians, entertainers, and nightly
By the way,
fireworks.
President Trump's approval rating is sitting at 48% right now.
Friday from October 11th through November 30th. Get tickets and more at texredfest.com.
Not as high, not as low.
Huzzah!
Hovering right around that 50% mark.
Ocean's finest. Talking to Michael, he's calling me back. We're done with him, right?
Yeah, I think that we
ample time.
Well, ample time, yes, and I think we've subjected the audience to.
I missed the ending what y'all were saying when you cut off because I was talking to a caller. I was screening a caller.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I just think that.
Just making sure.
I chose.
I think
my realtor.
the audience
Ronnie
is,
and Kathy Matthews Group. Your realtor
has learned a valuable lesson on how to deal with a left winger.
Online at thematthewsteam.com. That's thematthewsteam.com.
Appreciate the call. By the way, folks, as I suspected, I'm sorry. Either I'm getting really, really good at this from years of experience, wisdom guided by experience, or maybe I was just invoking the spirit of Rush Limbaugh today. But what I suspected, without even knowing Mr. Benari's story, I kind of knew exactly what it was all about and why Michael had glommed onto it, folks. This guy by the name of, ironically enough, Michael Benari. Guess what, folks? He's been at the DOJ for 20 years, a lifer, a career government person, living off the taxpayers for over 2 decades. Why was he replaced? Not because of Julie Kelly, but because President Trump had somebody else, maybe with a fresh set of eyes. Maybe he was going to be more aggressive. Maybe somebody was going to put the country first rather than their own career, or leftists decided that he would put somebody else in there. President Trump had a choice to take over Michael Benari's job. Now, Michael, the left-wing caller said, well, if President Trump wants to replace anybody in government, he shouldn't be allowed to. Sorry, he's the head of the executive branch. He won the election. So you got a lifer here, 20 years, over 20 years in the DOJ. Probably one of these folks, after all that time mailing it in, you guys know the government mentality, the entitlement government mentality that Michael exudes in spades. Not Michael Benari, Michael the caller. And President Trump says, look, we need some fresh blood. You got to go. I'm owed my government job. I'm owed my... No, you're not. You're not entitled to your government job. So bye-bye. Bye-bye. There you go, folks. Without even knowing the story, I knew the story. 281-558-5738, 281-558-KSEV. Peter Schweitzer's partner